adventurers! Welcome to my channel. So Anime Expo is a 4-day event that takes place in Los Angeles at the LA Convention Center, and there are also other little events that they throw throughout the weekend that you can buy additional tickets to. So I decided to only go for one day because I'm not like super into anime. I like, like Sailor Moon, Pokemon, Cowboy Bebop is my favorite. So I'm not like hardcore into anime, but I wanted to go check it out because I love conventions and I thought it would be cool, and I really like seeing everyone's cosplay also, so I went for one day. So my one day pass was $80. I'll go over the pricing real quick. Yeah, so my one day pass was $80, and they have 4-day passes, 1-day passes, children's passes, and they also have a military discount, which is really awesome. So for the 4-day ticket, if you're in the military or a veteran, it's only $56, so that's a huge discount. And then as of now, for this year, the 4-day pass is $130, but they already have signups for next year, so if you buy your ticket early, you get early bird pricing. So for 4 days for next year, it's $70. So it's way cheaper if you buy tickets ahead of time. So $70 for an adult, it's $35 for a child for the 4 days. And then those are just regular ticket prices. But if you want to do the VIP, which they call the Premier Fan Badge, that's $415. And let me just see what you get. But in the meantime, so if you buy a just like a regular badge and not the VIP, all they send you is your actual badge. They don't send you a lanyard or anything, which is weird because every convention I've gone to, if they require you to wear a badge, they give you a lanyard. But they didn't, which, I don't know, it was kind of annoying because it's like, it's not that expensive, just throw in a lanyard. But, so I used the one I had got from, I think it was E3 last year. So, I mean, I have plenty laying around, but that's just something to keep in mind, that you're going to need your own lanyard. So if you do the VIP, you get access to the VIP lounge. You also get a swag bag. You get early access to the exhibit hall, priority in panels, access to pre-show night, and then you also get $50 that you can apply to other ticketed events at the Expo. And yeah, so that's about it. And then for parking, I parked at the convention center. It was $25. They take cash and card. And the first thing I thought when I actually got to the convention was, wow, this is a mess. Like, that's like the first thought that went into my head, because when you're walking out or like into the convention center, there were only 2 people that were looking at badges and bags at my entrance, the parking lot entrance. There was also a separate like bag check entrance thing in the front of the convention center. But where I went through, there was no metal detectors. She kind of just glanced through my bag, and then some guy scanned my badge, and that was it. And again, safety is important. No metal detectors or pat-downs is not a good idea, especially when you have so many people at this event. And this event is huge. It's way bigger than I even thought it was going to be. So then I walked in, and there were just people everywhere just sitting on the floor. And I'm like, okay, like, what is this? So then I had to, like, weave my way through, walking around people, like, walking through their little huddles. Like, it was really annoying. And then the actual lobby of the convention center is completely packed with people. That's where a lot of people in cosplay go, so people could take pictures, or people could just kind of, like, hang out in that area. So that was jam-packed. And then the exhibit hall was also super, super full, and it was really hot. And I don't know if it was because it was 111 degrees outside, or if they just didn't like have the air up high enough or what, but I was like sweating the whole time. It was hot inside. But what I normally do when I go to a convention is I'll start at one end of the exhibit hall, and then I will zigzag and go up and down every single aisle. And there are a lot of merchants, I feel like, in the exhibit hall, it was mostly sales stuff. There were a few areas where you could play some new games that are coming out. There was also like a little dance area. But yeah, it was mostly sales, like cosplay things, also a lot of stuffed animals, a lot of kawaii stuff. So that was cute. There were also areas where it was 18 and over areas, and they were all like curtained off, and they would check everyone's ID, and you had to wait in line for that. I didn't do it. So that was the exhibit hall, and then there was also an entertainment hall, which was pretty cool, on the other side of the convention center. And so like Blizzard was there, and then they also had, they have like all these little like photo ops set up. So it's like a long alley. Either side of the alley there's little scenes set up, so if you're in cosplay you can go and like take kind of like themed pictures and stuff. It was actually really cool. So I saw a lot of cosplayers in there, and then they also had a VR experience in there, and they also had a whole section for computer gaming, so a lot of people were playing computer games, and then they also had a tabletop gaming section. So that was pretty cool. And then they also have a cosplay repair area, so if something goes wrong with your costume, you can take it there and they'll help you fix it. And then there was also another section where it was the Annex and Artist Alley. So I went there, not quite sure what the Annex was all about. It was mainly the Artist Alley. So that's just where a lot of independent artists can just go and get a booth and like showcase their art. And there was a lot of cool art at the convention. And yeah, so there were like paintings, posters, prints, shirts, all sorts of things that these independent artists do. And I always like to check out the Artist Alley because you can find some cool and unique stuff there. As far as food goes, there were some food trucks outside, and then there's also little cafeteria areas in the convention center. I didn't eat there because I figured everything would be more expensive than I wanted to pay, so I ate afterwards and before. Water's super expensive also. I paid $4. As far as the other events that they have during the expo, they have karaoke. They also have like a burlesque event. They have a masquerade. They have these little like cafes that they do. And all these things need an additional ticket, so you have to buy tickets for that stuff as well. And I think the tickets are like $25 to $30. I'm not sure. I didn't go to any of the extra events. And yeah, so that is pretty much it. Let me see what exactly the ticketed events are. Okay, some of them are actually, it looks like, more expensive than that. Like, I'm seeing $50 to $200 depending on which tickets or which event you go to. Looks like there's an escape room, there's like a puzzle hunt, burlesque, anime music video competition, there are little concerts, masquerade, after hours, which is 21 and over, it's a bar, and a burlesque cabaret. And yeah, so they have a maid cafe and a butler cafe, and there's dancing, musical performances, photo ops with people who are dressed up for those themes. So there's definitely a lot to do. I think my biggest issue was the lack of security going into the event, and then also people were just sitting everywhere. Like, and there were a ton of signage that said, you know, please don't sit here, and people are just like sitting all over the floor, and it's a hazard, and it's just kind of a lot to maneuver through. And the exhibit hall was so packed, and I don't know, it was just a lot. It was a lot to deal with. It just kind of seemed like I mean, I guess organized chaos, because I mean, I don't know. They weren't doing a very good job of clearing the aisles or making sure the walkways were accessible. So yeah, it was just a lot of people. And I mean, I wasn't expecting it, so that could be my bad. I just was not anticipating that many people. But yeah, it is a pretty big thing, and people have crazy cosplays, so they definitely spend a lot of time on it and money to get there. So I'd rate it an 8 out of 10 just because I feel like it was overcrowded. I feel like there should not be random people just sitting all over the floor when you're trying to walk to and from places. It was just not a really comfortable atmosphere. But it is cool that they have other events that you can go to, but I also feel like maybe don't charge extra money to have people go to like your after hours events or the other events you're offering, because that's just a lot. But I guess if you buy tickets early, it's $70, and then, I don't know. It just seems like a lot of money, and yeah, I feel like it's just too much to require people to buy additional tickets for things. But yeah, so that was pretty much my experience there. I didn't buy anything. There was no free swag that I got. I did get like business cards of different artists and stores that I liked, and I'll probably follow them on Instagram or just shop online for stuff that I saw. But yeah, so that is pretty much it. Trying to think if there's anything else important. I went by myself, so I mean, I felt, safe, fine. I parked at the event center, so there was no like long walks by myself. Yeah, so that was all good. But definitely, I think security could be better, and yeah, just kind of keeping people in check too, and having maybe more seating, more designated seating areas. I don't know, but just people all over the floor does not work. So, alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye!